Hi, this is Mark from Skywagon's podcast, and we've got a series of these with interesting people we invite in, some more so than others. This is Don Bradley, and Don's come in. He owns a flight school. He's an aeronaut, and he's been on the channel a couple of other times, one with a Vans RV7.
A RANS S7 light sport aircraft.
Thank you.
Close.
And he owns the flight school, and so we're going to talk today about the ins and outs and ups and downs of flight school ownership and management, and a new venture he's got that he wants to coerce me into. So, Don, thanks for coming.
Great to be here.
So just as a bit of background first, though, tell us how you got into aviation and what made you end up... You haven't been a flight school guy your whole life, though?
No. Not a flight school guy my whole life. It's interesting. I got into aviation through a person here at the Placerville Airport. So one of my major hobbies is rock climbing. And I had a climbing partner who had a Cessna 182 here in Placerville. In fact, it was on the line just outside your front door. And we would fly
Who was it?
Will Cottrell. He was a local surgeon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Will's moved up to South Lake Tahoe.
Mm-hmm.
And we would fly in his airplane to go places. And that really was what sparked my interest.
So you're not scared of heights?
I am not scared of heights most of the time.
I am.
I remember the gyroplane. You were scared. I remember you grabbing the
I leaned away from the height there, but there was height there as well.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, that, on the
that
roof,
actually surprised me.
No, I mean, a lot of pilots are scared of heights, but if you're dangling from a rope halfway up Yosemite, you can't be,
No, you get so focused, right, on the mission.
On the death.
No. But I always use a rope.
Okay, good.
Always use a rope. Yeah.
So rock climbing...
that was my introduction to flying, right? Was in a Cessna 182 right out of here in Placerville.
How long ago?
Late 90s, early 2000.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I took my first flight lesson 2003 on the anniversary of the 100-year anniversary of flight.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, it's come a long way since then, hasn't it?
It's come a long way since 2003.
Yeah, right.
A long way.
Mm. Yeah. But you didn't immediately buy a flight school the moment you got out of that 182. So what's your other...
No, I actually started out flying ultralights. Right? I started out in an ultralight. I had another climbing friend who was flying ultralights, and I thought, oh, that looks like fun. So I started out in an ultralight, and then moved into an airplane, then got a private pilot certificate, got an instrument rating, commercial rating, and eventually a CFI.
When I first met you, you had a Mooney M20E.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, I did have an M20E.
And then the Bonanza.
And then the Bonanza. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But you're also a tech guy or something to do with...
I was in tech for 25 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you've put all that behind you.
Way behind me.
Okay.
Way behind me.
So if people are watching and thinking, I would like to start a flight school, what's your advice for them? Keep it longer than one word.
Good luck.
Okay. So, I mean, but you've done it, though. It works.
Yeah, no, I've been flight instructing since 2008 in some fashion, right? But it was really about 2017 that we started Foothill Flight Center. And
at Cameron Park, right here near Placerville.
Yeah, out of Cameron Park, yeah. And we've gone through multiple iterations, but yeah, been very successful. Not with its ups and downs, right? Mm-hmm. Like any small business. But yeah, I've been teaching almost full time since 2017.
And the planes, I've noticed, have changed
a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the if we talk about the ups and downs of a flight school and the benefits and the hardships, the one of the benefits is, right, you get to decide what equipment you want to have. You get to decide how you want to teach, what you want to teach, especially as Part 61 flight school. Not so much a Part 141 flight school.
So explain the differences.
Well, the simple way to think about it is Part 61 is less structured. We all train to the same standard. Part 141, maybe, college program, airline program, much more structured, right? Much more based on time, where I like to think that Part 61, the way I think about it is we're based on proficiency, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So I train a lot of people who work full time, right? So they can't come to the flight school every day.
So that's spread out over a longer period.
Yeah, spread out over a longer period. Where you're in a Part 141 program, there's set times that you're going to be getting through those certificates. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And 172, you had what are the planes you've had and got now? You've been through the Diamonds too, didn't you?
I haven't been through the Diamonds, no.
What was the little, the Pipistrel?
The Pipistrel.
Yeah, you had those.
Yeah, we started out with the Vector Sport Stars, right? And 172s, we were running both models. Used the money a little bit for high performance, and then we moved to the Pipistrel Alpha Trainer. We kept those for, 2 years, about 1,500 hours or so per airplane. Went back to 172s.
Why?
Just changing it up. Right?
Okay.
That's
Not due to reliability or longevity or...
No. Keeping it interesting, right? What was available at the time.
Student demand.
Student demand, yeah. Ooh, did you that?
Demand.
That was an English accent. Did you catch that?
It was a cultural slip. I feel repressed.
We'll have to get your camera guy to cut that out. I do not want to be mistaken as English.
What would you say was the biggest sort of hurdle of flight school management? The sort of...
Well, the biggest hurdle is capital, right? It's an investment.
Buying the planes,
right? Buying the planes, finding the place to store the planes, right? Finding office space.
Maintaining them,
right? Battling the weather.
What about students? Do you ever run short, or always too many?
Since 2019, there has been no shortage of students, right? It feels like it's changing, right? As the airlines start to slow down a little bit, things are slowing down. No, there was a 3-year period where we maintained a waiting list. We couldn't get you in, right? And I think that was common, right, at flight schools.
And I'm selling a lot of planes to flight schools, trainers still now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Back to back.
Well, we got Mosaic that just came out, right? And, I expect that's going to create a boom as well, right? As people understand that and go down that path.
We have to get someone on here that can explain it to us in full. Would that be you?
80% of it. I can get you up to speed on 80% of it.
When you're at about 98, come back.
Okay. When I'm 98, I'll come back. Yeah. There's parts I still don't understand.
Tell us about the new angle on the flight training, the new venture that you want to start.
Well, let's back up, right? Let's talk about, you said, what if somebody was going to start a flight school? Let's talk about some of the benefits of starting a flight school, right? So I, like you, I'm around aviation every day. Like, it is my life, right? And I think that's a huge benefit. Lots of people, I get to meet lots of people, right? With different interests in aviation. I was just doing a talk the other night over at the Auburn Aviation Association. Are you guys aware of them?
Yeah. I'm a contributing member.
Have you made a donation?
Yeah.
Oh, you should. You should be making routine donations.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. What a phenomenal organization.
I know.
Right? We need something like that on this side of the river.
Right.
Yeah.
They have sponsorships for students that take them right through to commercial.
Oh, they've made many airline pilots. Yeah. But the bigger thing is they've got lots of donations. Like, they give out, and I may get this number incorrect, but I believe they're going to give out $165,000 of scholarships this year.
Somebody donated a Cirrus to the organization as a tax deduction.
I heard about that.
And they sold it and put the money into the account, which generates capital, which makes money to give more sponsorship to students.
Yes, you've got to know Don Wolf.
Yes,
Mike
Wolfman.
Wolfman, yeah.
If you're watching Don, he's been on here.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. What was he on for?
He was on showing us his unbelievably beautiful Cessna 180 Skywagon.
Ah, okay.
Watch that video on Skywagon University.
Yeah, I'm hoping to fly with him. And then Mike Duncan that runs Sunshine Flyers over there. Great guy, right? I mean, they are doing just phenomenal work. But so where I was going with that is, like, owning a flight school, I get to meet all kinds of people, right, that with different interests in aviation. I get to fly. I've flown so many different aircraft that otherwise I wouldn't have an opportunity. Well, and a lot of it thanks to you, right? Yeah. In fact, I got a call yesterday from a Bonanza guy that.
He wants to. He wants you to check him out.
Yeah.
And another one on a Sundowner.
Oh, I haven't heard from the Sundowner.
He will.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So
he's watching this too.
The airplanes are just going out the door. How do you keep inventory?
I don't know.
Yeah. Huh. And then. A big benefit is, as a flight instructor in Part 61 is we get to participate in, what I would say is, maybe some of the biggest life goals people have. Right. Hey, I want to buy a house. I want to have kids and all this. A
plane is probably the second biggest purchase you'll make behind a house.
Well, getting that pilot certificate, right?
Yeah, well, there's an investment.
There's a huge investment.
So when I learned, it was $3,500. It was $35 an hour wet. 12 went to the instructor. What is it today, roughly, on a 172?
It's going to be roughly $200 with $100 for the instructor.
$100 for the instructor.
Why do you act like that?
Sorry, they just sit
You
there.
pay your massage therapist more than $100 an hour.
And they're not going to die if you get it wrong.
Correct. Right. Yeah, you have to realize, like, as an instructor, the amount of time and money that's invested to get to be able to teach, right? And I won't get on a soapbox or a rant, but yeah, a good instructor is worth what you pay.
Oh, it is.
Compared to a bad instructor.
Because the better they are, the sooner they get out and you solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sooner you get out, the better training you get, right? You know, an experienced instructor can get you through faster, but they can also teach you things that you may never would have learned before. My
instructor follows this channel too, AJ, see there? He lives in Southern California. He taught Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie how to fly their Cirruses.
When they were married or not married?
Cirri.
Cirri?
Yeah.
Oh, they each had a Cirri?
Yeah, they each had one, yeah.
Huh, wow.
And I still hear him in my head when I'm pulling carb heat in a 152, on downwind. I still hear him, carb heat, and that was in 1991 when I learned. So there are significant things that instructors say to you at points in your life that stick with you forever. And if you don't get those things right, it's a big gap.
Yeah, do you know what we call that in the FOIs? Primacy. Right? What you learn first has to be correct, because it's very difficult to unlearn.
Break it.
Mm-hmm. Very difficult. And we see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's some of the benefits, like obviously the people that you meet, the associations you get with the other flight schools, so on, the opportunity to teach people, be around aviation every day, right? But I'd be lying if I said it's, what is it, all roses and wine?
A cakewalk.
A cakewalk, yeah.
Roses up the front door, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Because it's not that, right? I mean, there's ups and downs to this business, right? Like we said, the capital, right? The initial capital that you outlay. And you take this last month and a half. Fog, bad.
Yeah.
Put that in the video. Fog, bad.
Fog, bad.
Right. I typically fly, somewhere between, 25 to 35 hours a month, right? And we'll talk about what our mission is. But last month, guess how many hours I flew?
8.
5.
No.
Right.
So for people who don't know where we are or watching this for the first time, we're at 2,500 feet, and Don's at 1,200?
About 1,300, yeah.
And the fog fills the Central Valley of California up to about 1,400, which is perfect to make you go IFR and beautiful clear sunshine up here. But we had flight schools from Sacramento Executive bring their planes up here and leave them here and minibus the kids up to fly the planes and do touch and goes above the fog.
Yeah. Yeah, because some of the flight schools, large flight schools down there, they need those planes working.
Yeah, there was fog for 40 days.
Yes. Yeah, I moved to El Dorado County, I want to say it was 1997, and I have not seen fog like that.
And people give me grief being British. They go, fog in London fog, and all this stuff. But you haven't seen fog till you've been in the Sacramento Valley in December.
Yeah. But Cameron Park, it says right on the sign, above the fog, below the snow.
That's our logo.
No, that's our logo.
We're really above the fog and below the snow.
Right. We took duct tape and said, no longer above the fog. Right? Still below the snow.
So 5 hours, you just shut down. You can't move it.
Yeah, we have no instrument approach in and out of Cameron Park. And, and honestly, I mean, there were days that you couldn't see from one end of the runway to the other for days on end. Yeah.
We sat up here in the beautiful 70-degree, 100-mile visibility and looked out across the top of it. It was terrible.
I can't respond to that.
But actually from here, I had to go to the Bay Area a few times. I would take off out of here. I'll be over fog within 10 minutes and then across the entire valley with nothing other than the bump above the power station, where the top of the cloud has a bump in it, at 4,000 feet, all the way to the Bay Area and land in beautiful 70-degree weather in the Bay Area as well.
Yeah, it was amazing. The days that we could get out and fly, we'd get out of Cameron Park, and the fog line would be right at El Dorado Hills. Right, and we'd just be maneuvering above the fog.
Waiting for it to creep in or out and land before it does.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We never got stranded, which was good.
And you do tail wheel training. A lot of people ask me, who does tail wheel training? You do tail wheel training
Lots
too.
Lots of tail wheel training, yeah.
And that's in the RANs and in the Citabria. Okay.
Yeah, so, let's talk about our mission at the flight school. So, over the past year, we changed from really offering primarily initial flight training, commercial flight training, instrument flight training, CFIs, to more focusing on how do we build safe, competent pilots with confidence, right? And we identified 4 areas. Tail wheel was number 1, right? So that was our big focus, and we continue to do that. Light aerobatics, spin training, real spin training, right? Not the one and done spin training.
Not the incipient stage.
Not the incipient stage, the fully developed spin.
Right.
Yeah. And then upset prevention recovery. So, it was a big investment, right? We had to invest in ourselves as pilots. We had to get training. So we got hooked up with this organization called the Upset Prevention Recovery Training Organization. And great guys, Mike Clark, Pete Redden, Rich Stoll. That's a name you should understand, you should hear, right?
Rich Stoll.
Are you familiar with Rich and his teachings and writings?
Not yet.
So, okay, you should look him up. He's written many books on emergency procedures. He's considered the godfather of upset prevention recovery training. He's often called the spin doctor. Right?
Oh, good. Yeah.
Big advocate for spin training in general aviation, that we should all do spin training. But anyways, we got connected with Mike and Pete and made the investment. Spent a bunch of time in Bend, Oregon. Pete's from Tennessee. We brought Pete out several times and spent the last 8 months, really getting spooled up to do this training. But we had to invest in an airplane as well. Back to that capital investment, because we needed an aircraft that was aerobatic, and we ended up buying, on Pete's recommendation, a Citabria, 7 ECA Citabria.
Was that toe brakes or heel brakes?
Toe brakes.
Toe. I like that.
73 with toe brakes.
Flaps?
No, Citabria doesn't have flaps.
Oh,
What are those
some
for?
do.
Wow, more later models,
Yeah.
right? Most of the aerobatic aircraft.
Whenever I'm selling something that's aerobatic capable, I'm always asked, has it done aerobatics? As if that's a negative. How much stress is there during training on the airframe of a plane for prolonged exposure to that sort of flying?
Well, you use the word prolonged. So in a typical hour training session for us, let's say that we're focusing on spins or we're focusing on light aerobatics, maybe upset prevention, we'll see 3.5 to 4 Gs in a recovery, right? Because we're allowing the maneuver to really go to the point. It's like, okay, we've got to recover now, and that recovery may take a good pull. So prolonged, I don't know. The 3.5 to 4 Gs for 2 seconds.
But if you did that for 10 years on the same airframe, is that hurting it?
I can't answer that question. I'm not an engineer. I tell myself no, right?
Okay.
I tell myself it's going to hold together. Yeah. So, but that's a good question, because I've heard that, right? Like, if you're going to buy an aerobatic airplane, how much aerobatics has it done? And it's like,
Has yours got metal spars?
No, ours has new wood spars.
New wood.
Mm-hmm. New wood.
The metal's strong, but the wood's more flexible.
Correct. Yeah, and there's lots of benefits, and you go out on the internet and lots of back and forth on what's good and what's bad.
But I mean, touch wood, no wings have come off any of them yet.
Yeah. I don't.
You obviously know what Citabria means, right?
No. What does it mean? I do.
Some people don't.
I know.
But it's aerobatic, backwards.
Yeah.
I thought it was Citabria. I thought it was an Italian plane in the beginning. Citabria.
No, the Citabria is a derivative of the Aranca-Chin.
Exactly, yeah. But as a novice in the beginning, I didn't know. I thought, Piper Cessna Mooney, Citabria. I thought it was an Italian aerobatic plane, but it's aerobatic.
Yeah, aerobatic
Backwards.
Yeah, they're phenomenal airplanes, right? And it's really allowed us to. Excuse me, Don. Sorry about that. It's really allowed us to build good, confident pilots, right? We can take that pilot who spent most of their time, in this the 1G world, maybe 1.2 Gs or so, and we can get them out to the edge of the envelope. It's like, okay, the aircraft's stressed for 5 Gs, we're going out to 4.5, right?
So if you're doing 4.5 in a Bonanza or a Mooney or a 172, is it going to have a problem? And you don't do it on purpose, but say you got into an event and you were using your training to recover it and you gave it 4 Gs, is that going to hurt a 172?
So those are typically stressed in the normal category to 3.8 Gs, right? So if you went to 4 Gs, depending on what the situation was, you might bend something, but I can't recall the exact number, but it could be an additional third of the G-force that's required. Load that's the load capability of the aircraft. I should know that, but yeah. So I don't think you're going to break the wings off. I think you got to do what you got to do.
What you got to do. You're not going to go, I'm going to crash, so I save the airframe.
Right. Correct.
Of course.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But if you're properly trained, you're going to know what to do. right?
And you get out of it earlier.
You prevent it, first of all. You got the awareness, and then you've got the prevention technique. But let's say that it does get beyond the point of preventing, and now I've got an executed recovery. If you're properly trained, that was the big learning for me, right? And when you come and fly with me, we're going to put it on camera right now that you are going to come and do...
When I do what?
Come and fly with me and do spin training and upset prevention recovery training, right? I'll have barf bags. I'm very aware in my training, it was like, be very aware that this is unusual, right? There's going to be some additional G-forces and people are likely to get sick. I think we've trained 40 people in the last 6 months or so, and I've only had 2 people get sick.
Oh, really?
But the carpet is out of my airplane at the moment.
Okay. So, I mean, is it...
But where I was going with that is that, you asked the question about, okay, am I going to rip the wings off my Bonanza? Am I going to rip the wings off my Cessna? You most likely may, right? You depending on the situation. But if you're trained and you have the instincts to push and unload the aircraft, get the aircraft upright, you have a chance not to do that.
Right. I don't know if you were around at the time, but years ago here at Placerville, there was a 75 182P, and there was a French guy in it. I don't know why he was French. I just remember that he was. And he took off and headed up towards Tahoe in very convective weather. And he was going to go around it and go under it and go up and go over into Nevada. And he went up. And the plane got sucked into a cumulonimbus cloud and vortexed up through it. I mean, you read about this stuff and you think it would never happen. He got sucked in, blown out the side somewhere, upside down and backwards, completely out of control, and pulled it out of G's and flew it, terrified. I mean, he literally soiled his trousers. He flew it back to Placerville, landed it, got out, and left. And the plane looked perfect standing on the tie downs. And when you looked at it closely, every single piece of it was bent.
Wow.
There were ripples in the top of the skins. There were ailerons that weren't working in a flat horizontal plane. Flaps were tweaked. The wings were lifted beyond the struts. The fuselage had a crease. The tail was bent. And he must have done like 8 G's to it. And it flew back and landed. It was totaled. It looked perfect and it was totaled.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's not just the wing that has to hold that load. It's the entire structure of the aircraft. It's the seats. It's the floorboard. It's the engine mounts that are all stressed.
So day 1, class 1, I'm there for my tuition. What's the first lesson?
Yeah, so we're going to do some ground training so that you understand the mantra, the process to actually recover an aircraft once we get into an unusual attitude. We do a lot of focus on prevention, right? How do we, like your friend, if it was your friend, the Frenchman that went into the thunderstorms, in Tahoe, right? He missed the prevention step, right?
Don't take off.
Don't take off on a day like that, right? Because it's likely to happen. But we're going to teach you the proper recovery techniques, right? Push, power, roll, right? And it's that simple, right? Because in that situation, you don't want to be thinking. It's got to be instinct, right? You have to push. So we'll go out, we'll put the aircraft, we'll get you used to a few G's. When I go out, I like to review stalls. I like to say, okay, how is your comfort level in the stall series? Because a lot of private pilots, commercial pilots, if they're flying for fun, they don't practice this type of stuff. So we'll run through some stalls. Then I'll say, okay, Mark, you've got the airplane, show me a good 45-degree bank turn. Right, and that way you're getting used to the aircraft. And once we get through that, I'm like, okay, let's do a couple 60-degree bank turns just to get to fill some G's. Right, we call it getting your vitamin G. Right,
vitamin G.
Your vitamin G. Yeah. Anyways, getting you used to the G's, right? And then, in the beginning, we're going to do some, what I'll call minor upsets, right? We're going to take the aircraft beyond 90 degrees, maybe up to 40 degrees of pitch up, with the idea that you're focused on recovery.
So you put it in the scenario and tell me to fix it?
I put it in the scenario and tell you to fix it. Right, and we take our time, right? And I'm like, I want you talking out loud to me. I want to know when you push, right? And the push, right? We say push, and it's not that we're pushing the aircraft over into a negative G. We're relaxing and moving the stick or the yoke forward. So
to unload it.
Yeah, to unload it. But more importantly, to prevent a panic pull.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like if the aircraft's here and you panic pull, if we're upside down, we go through the bottom. And there's a lot of G-force. Right.
What does that mean, where it flips over?
Well, so my hand, so this is the top of my hand, this is the bottom of my hand. I've put my hand in the inverted position.
Yeah.
Right, so if I pull, I'm going to pull through the bottom half of a loop. right?
Okay, that's a lot of G's.
A lot of G's, right?
Okay.
But the whole idea is that we're eliminating the panic pull, right? And we get that unusual.
Is that instinct?
That's instinct. That's everybody's instinct. Right?
To pull.
Mm-hmm. To pull. And that's the problem when we get low to the ground and we have an issue and the ground is coming up. We always see is all brown. We just start pulling, right? The second you pull, you load the airplane. You load the airplane, what happens?
Stall.
Right, stall speed goes up, right? And now you're in the situation where you can't recover. It becomes unrecoverable.
Okay, unrecoverable.
Low to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's not enough room to fix it.
Right, not enough altitude.
Okay.
Right, that's how we go way up, right? We start at 5,000 feet. And we accept that in these maneuvers, especially in the training environment, we're going to lose lots of altitude, right? Especially as you're learning, right? Because you're thinking, right? And our goal is to get you out of thinking and get you into reacting. Push, power, roll.
So are you suggesting that we do this like on camera?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think this was transformational for me as a pilot. When I flew with Mike and Pete, right? You know, I'm north of 4,000 hours. I've got 3,000 hours of dual given. I've been blessed to fly lots of aircraft. I flew with those two guys, and it changed me as a pilot, right? You know, and I think every pilot should go through it. Right?
And what is the program? What is it like? How many hours? And what does it cost? And
we have 6 modules, and it's all based on the pilot. Right? How far do they want to take it? I think everybody should go through the whole course. What does their focus want to be? But if you go through our UPRT course, it'll be approximately $1,600, 6 modules, and that may span over 6 lessons, right? And it includes the full spin series as well, right? Yeah, and you'll come out of the program incredibly comfortable, beyond 30 degrees, beyond 45 degrees, beyond 60 degrees. That attitude of the aircraft upside down is no longer unusual, and you'll have the skill set, to avoid, right? Avoid any of this. That's the goal, right? We want to avoid this.
Right.
But B, you'll have the skill set, to recognize and recover. And that was the big takeaway for me, is these guys that we're training with are military pilots, and this is normal, right? The training is normal for them, right? And you think about the airline guys; they're always at training, right? We in GA were not, right?
Except for our BFR.
We could talk about that as well. It's no longer called a BFR.
Oh, yeah.
What's it called? A flight review.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the FAA recognizes that we need more training, so they said, okay, we're going to take the bi out of the biennial flight review, and we're going to call it a flight review, right? And we have pilots who recognize that, hey, training is great, we really need to continue training, I need to keep my proficiency and my skills up, and we'll fly them once every 6 months. Yeah, and I'll have people come back and say, I want to do a few spins today.
So, how many hours is it roughly for the average guy?
5 hours.
5 hours, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm in.
Great. Yeah. No, we should definitely do it. And I think.
Will you come here?
Yeah, I'll come and pick you up here.
Okay.
Yeah. I love Placerville. In fact, I was amazed at the view this morning. I haven't been up here in
Snow-capped peaks.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah.
All right, that'd be great.
Postcard. Yeah.
We'll put a camera in it, and we can watch me fail.
Well, you're not going to fail. You're going to learn.
No, I know.
Right? You're not failing. You're learning.
Well, you know what's weird is when I'm selling a plane to somebody and they go for a demo ride, I'm always PIC, pilot command, left seat. I have to take off land, and they can fly in the air just due to liability. And then they say, "Can we stall it?" I mean, I don't know what that would show anybody because it's 29 or 53 years old and it hasn't, died yet. But they always want to go to the edge, and a lot of them, with my ex-boss once, he's sitting in a 185. And the guy said, "Can I stall it?" And he pulled up, and it stalled, dropped a wing, rolled over, and he froze like this.
Yeah.
And Joe's pushing his yoke, and he's pulling his yoke. And he chopped him.
Really?
And so he grabbed his own throat, and then Joe shoved the nose forward and stopped it going into a spin.
Did he buy the airplane?
Oh, yeah. But then we had the golden rule of no stalls in demo flights. Except when you're landing.
Yeah, that's interesting that the buyer wants to see the stall characteristics.
Yeah. Huh. But anyway, no, I think it'd be interesting to do that. And we'll use the Citabria.
Yeah, we'll use the Citabria.
I'm in the front.
You're in the front. I'll be in the back.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'll show you some great exercises. So when we're teaching stall spin awareness, we do this exercise where we get the aircraft right on the edge of the stall, the tail's starting to buffet, right? We don't have a stall warning indicator in the aircraft. The tail tells you can feel the air coming off the wing. And we'll do some exercises to detect the yaw,
With power?
Oh, with power, without power.
Okay.
Yeah, in a turn. Yeah. We'll do some full slipping stalls. Yeah. And just to show you, it's like, here's the envelope of the aircraft. This is how the aircraft's going to react. And guess what? If you push, it's going to recover. Yeah.
And just from your experience, how far above the stall warning horn is the actual stall normally in your average plane? When you hear it chirp?
Maybe 6 to 7 knots.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's a good buffer. There's no stall warning in the Citabria. Yeah. But we'll do full spins, right? We'll do 2 to 3 turn spins.
And if you let the spin keep going, does it flatten out?
No, not in the Citabria.
It'll just keep spinning.
Yeah, it just goes into this beautiful spin.
And it's no load on the plane a spin.
Well, it's 1G.
Yeah, but that's like a normal turn.
It's a normal straight and level flight. Typically in a turn, there's a slight G.
Yeah. So
and the G is about 1. The airspeed stabilizes, right? If you have the wherewithal, you can look at the airspeed indicator and it'll stabilize right about the 1G stall speed. Yeah. Becomes a stable maneuver.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. I'm bringing my own cameras.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done. Let's do that. So this will be, obviously, it'll be on Skywagon University, the other channel where we do talk about different planes and fly them. And Don will put me through the paces and see how that goes. But I know
you're going to love it.
I'm looking forward to it.
You'll be a changed man.
No, thanks. Thanks for coming in and telling us about it.
Yeah.
So this is Skywagon's podcast with Don Bradley talking about the ups and downs of aviation again. And your third visit.
I like that. Ups and downs of aviation.
They are a lot.
Yeah. Like I said, my goal is to be on your channel more than one Brown.
I think you're on him. You're on the same now, right? But after 5 lessons in the Citabria, you'll be on like way more than one.
Exactly.
But I've asked one back, and one is coming back, so there's going to be one on here, so it'll be like this. But no, thanks for coming in. It's been very, very interesting.
Yeah, fun talking to you guys. Yeah.
Skywagon University is the Talking About the Planes channel. Skywagon Podcast is this channel, and we also have Plane Crazy Life, which is the sort of lifestyle adventure channel. So watch all of those and subscribe, like, comment, ask questions, get in touch with Foothill Aviation.
Foothill Flight Center.
Foothill Flight Center down in Cameron Park with Don if you want to be upset. So thanks very much for watching.